Well, speaking of black chicks.
All right. Nice segue.
Yeah. Apparently, an advisor to a congressman had to resign his post or resign his job this week due to his social media posts.
And by had to, you mean was a pussy and just did?
Yeah, he just did.
Okay.
Advisor to Representative Aaron Schrock, Schock,
Okay.
resigns over alleged racist Facebook posts.
All right.
Racist now.
All right, let's hear what's racist.
Keep that in mind, because when I read this, I was just like, well, where's the racism in this, aside from just, I don't know, what do you want to call language that maybe some people don't find attractive?
Okay.
I don't know. I didn't find it racist so much.
Let me hear what this nigger hater has to say.
A senior advisor to Representative Aaron Schock, Republican, Illinois, has reportedly resigned over a series of racially charged.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you hear the term racially charged,
Yeah.
what do you think when you hear that?
I'm thinking you're going to hear nigger or coon or sand nigger.
Okay, so you're thinking the most extreme.
I would think so. Yeah, racially charged.
Racially charged.
I would think the harshest of the harsh.
Okay.
Spit, kike.
All right, so basically using a lot of racial epithet.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah. All right. So he resigned over a series of racially charged statements on his social media.
Okay.
Benjamin Cole tried to quell the commotion surrounding the congressman's Downton, Downtton, his Downton Abbey-inspired office decoration. I guess that's a TV show.
Okay, don't know it.
Downton Abbey. I had to look that out because I didn't.
The Abbey, yeah, I know what that is.
It's a TV show that's supposedly taken place in the turn of the century.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of like a English thing.
Yeah.
Downton Abbey.
Something me and you would never watch.
Yeah, it's just I had to look it up because I didn't know what it was. Downton Abbey inspired office decorations.
Okay.
I don't know why that was such a big deal, but anyway. But that's nothing compared with the media firestorm brewing around his Facebook posts. Now get this. Here we are in 2015. Mm-hmm. They're reaching all the way back to October of 2013. All right. From his Facebook post on October 13th of 2013.
All right.
Obtained by Think Progress. What is Think Progress? Is that some
liberal bullshit?
Okay. Cole, a former Baptist minister, allegedly mocked two African Americans outside his apartment in Washington, D.C., comparing them to animals that had escaped from the National Zoo.
Wow.
All right. Brings to mind Anthony Cumia.
Anthony Cumia.
Yeah, exactly. Each post was accompanied by the hashtag Gentrify Today.
I like this guy.
So, you know, and the thing is, here's the thing that I wonder, because everybody uses this as a very negative thing, where people, I shouldn't say people, I should say that organizations with the financial backing or capital that are rejuvenating neighborhoods that are run down and turning them into livable commercial centers.
Okay.
Gentrify.
Right, sure.
But everybody uses it like it's like
running the poor out.
Yeah, or what's the word that the Nazis used for exterminating the Jews? What was that called?
Not euthanasia.
But I'm using the way that these articles use that term, it's almost as if they're killing off the poor or something. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Gentrify.
Wait, let me ask you a question, and I'm gonna go back to the animals part of your
okay,
which I'm thinking is probably where they have a problem, or a big part of the problem is that they compared black people to animals, right?
Okay,
I'm gonna assume that. Let's say, for the sake of argument, I'm having a party over here, okay? And Stephanie's over here. And I get all fucked up, and I start groping Stephanie.
Sure.
I start grabbing her titties.
Sure.
Fucking grabbing her ass and whatever.
Right.
Would you say that I'm acting like an animal?
Yes, I would.
Would that be racist?
No.
Why not?
I don't see that as a racist thing. Which is the reason why I brought this story to the table.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't see that as racist. That's just having animalistic behavior.
Okay, now what if a black guy saw me do that and said I was acting like an animal? Should I be racially offended?
No, why would you?
Well, because if I say it to this black guy, then he's allowed, and it's an acceptable anger for him to be racially offended. According to this article, they're saying that they're calling this guy out for posting that these guys were animals.
Yeah, they were acting like animals.
Yeah. But if I act like an animal, nobody can say that to me and charge, and I can't fire back with racism.
Right.
Which just proves how nonsensical calling people animals is to a racism discussion.
Right.
It's absolutely bullshit.
Well, anybody who compares someone who calls a person of color an animal is just accepting the fact that they are akin to animals.
Yeah, I mean, is the whole, and maybe I'm reaching far with this, but I'm going to assume that people are equating the behavior of somebody that acts like a quote unquote animal to an ape that plays and throws its own shit.
Well, see, that's the vision that's conjured up in your head.
Well, but is that the vision
now
that
the
you're
truth?
using?
But if you point that out, then you go, yeah, I can see that.
But is that why?
I don't know. I don't know the answer.
Because it's the same as saying that fucking some chick looks like Zelda from Planet of the Apes. I'm guessing. I can't for the life of me figure out how saying somebody's acting like a fucking animal is anything but a statement of fact in most cases.
But it's not racially charged. It's just like, stop acting like an animal.
Well, I agree. I don't think it's racially.
I don't either.
I think that's the fucking anybody that's offended by that's a big fucking pussy.
Right. Hail and Kill Caller, you're on the air.
Once again, I get casted into this position of
you get cast. I see somebody force you to pick up that phone and dial.
That's right. I cast myself in this position of having to explain the dog whistling.
Okay.
Okay. Here's why it's racially charged. I'm not going to go so far as to say racist, but I'm going to say racially charged because, okay, you know the historical connotations of calling black people apes and gorillas and knuckle walkers and all that stuff.
Knuckle walkers. I'm going to use that this week.
And jungle bunnies and porch monkeys and all this zoo animal stuff.
All right.
I mean, okay, maybe he just got off the turnip truck from whatever bumfuck town in Illinois to the big city of Washington D.C. By God, and maybe he's never actually seen black people before. Who knows?
Well, he's from Illinois, so
what district? Carbondale?
Yeah, down where the white folk live.
I don't know. I think he's from. I read I read the article about his office because the headline piqued my interest, and it's I think he was somewhere up near your neck of the woods, somewhere suburban Chicago.
Sure,
actually.
sure.
So, Doghouse, is it acceptable in your eyes, in your ears, that there is a double standard? That absolutely, I can't say a black guy's acting like an animal, but he can say that I'm acting like an animal.
But there's no historical connotation for calling white people animals. There's no.
Well, how long do they get to live on that history? Ever?
How long?
Is it forever?
Maybe so. Then it depends on it's when it stops becoming prevalent.
Mm-hmm. Then how, if they get to live, okay, I'm gonna go further with this. If they get to live on it forever, then how the fuck does anybody ever expect there to be an even playing field that everybody claims they want?
Explain that.
I'm saying everybody, all the race baiters say that they want to be treated equally, but they don't want to. But then when they are treated equally, they turn it into a racial situation.
Are they treated equally? Do you think the guy would have actually said whatever these people were doing? You think if they were white people, do you think he actually would have said animals that escaped from the zoo?
They may have. How do you know that he wouldn't? I've been known to.
We don't know that he would or he wouldn't.
So what? You shouldn't be able to say it on either side?
It's if you're a congressperson, maybe you probably shouldn't. Was he elected at this point at that point in 2013?
Well, he's not elected official. He's just an assistant to a congressperson.
Well, this Benjamin Cole guy is the one who said it.
Yes, correct.
Aaron Schrock himself.
No, the assistant to the elected official said it.
Okay, well, obviously, in that case, who gives a fuck? But obviously, this representative, he sees his reputation somehow tied to his communications director or whatever.
Well, of course, because that's when everybody goes, well, I'm going to have to distance myself from that. He doesn't speak for me. He might be on my staff, but that's not the way that we believe, or that's not how I think, you know.
Yeah, he sees that maybe people of his ideology maybe have a little bit of a problem, a little bit of a PR crisis going on with the black folks, so maybe he wanted to distance himself from it as far as possible with his nice Downton Abbey-inspired office.
So at what point do all races need to thicken their skin up a little bit and just accept the other races fucking with them?
Well, as white guys, you know, we can sit here and say, well, they all should do it, because how often does it really happen to us?
Well, I'm glad you clarified the fact that you're a white guy, because not knowing who you are exactly and never meeting you in person, I just assumed that you were just like a faceless, raceless being.
I am white. I am white. I am, let's see, what am I? One half Scotch-Irish, one half Dutch, no, that's wrong. One half Scotch-Irish, 1/4 Dutch, and 1/4 Polish.
So do you introduce yourself as a Scotch-Dutch Irishman?
No, I introduce myself as an American mutt.
There you go.
Do you introduce yourself as a white apologist?
No.
Just thought I'd ask.
No, I don't. I just hear all the bullshit people say. People just... God, it's like people never consider anybody. It's like these racial arguments that people make. It's easy for them to make because they're white and they've never been confronted with anything else, and they're not able to put themselves in that position.
Yeah, but I think that a lot of times, this is just my viewpoint, I think a lot of the time that people just look for a reason to exacerbate that situation rather than just let it go by and just like not pay any attention to it. They look for a reason to blow it up into the, make it bigger than what it is.
Yeah, I can see that, but I can also see on the other side lots of people that will try to, no matter whatever it is, just no matter how blatant it is, they'll try to find some way to explain it away.
All right, well, let me go to the other side of this. Why do, aside from work-related activity, why do races have to have any intermingling at all? Why is that some sort of requirement? I get it for work. I get you got to treat everybody one way for work. But outside of that, why is there this thought that the races all have to mix and match? It's just not going to happen. When are people going to accept that?
Okay, but as long as it's of everybody's own choosing, and again, there's a hell of a lot more of us than they are.
But you can't say that that's the way it is, though, at Doghouse. You can't say that that's the way it is, though, right now, because it's not. Try and have a white club. Try and have a white any club.
I get it.
That'd be of your choosing.
No, I get it. Hell, I went to a pretty racially mixed high school. You know, there was the doors that most black people went in through, and the doors that most white people went in through.
Right.
I mean, I get that, but at the same time, since there's a hell of a lot more of us than there is of them.
Well, that's an untrue
it's
statement.
Not like something we can, if it's something that we decide, it's almost like it's being forced just because of numbers.
Percentage of...
Like if all the white people decide, well, we're not going to hang out with black people, it's just based on the sheer numbers and percentages, it's almost like resegregation.
But it's people's choice. That's what I never understand. Is you're trying to force something that's never going to work,
or people don't really want.
People don't want it.
Which people?
Well, anybody. The thing.
Do you think black dudes? Do you think that in general circumstances that if a white dude lives in a black neighborhood that he's going to feel welcomed?
Probably not.
Okay, so where do you think there would be more of a welcoming? The lone black guy in a white neighborhood, the lone white guy in a black neighborhood?
Well, it's a chicken or egg type deal. Who feels exclusionary? Who acts exclusionary toward who first? You know?
Mm-hmm.
Are black people suspicious and hostile toward white people first, and then white people said, all right, well, fine, we'll put you in chains. We'll make you drink from different water fountains. Yes, that's totally cliche, the water fountains.
All right, but that was 80 years ago. I mean, come on.
50.
Okay, well, none of those people are still here in any relevant power.
It's in enough recent memory.
Enough with that. Why? Because it's on the History Channel? Save it. I'll tell you what, I think race relations were better in that time period than they are now.
Really?
Yes, absolutely.
Why?
Why? Because at least then the people that were racist were outwardly racist. Now you've got this underground, hidden, fucking dirtier, meaner kind of racism in this country. Everybody is a lot more racially tense than they ever were in the 60s. They're just more devious about it than they used to be.
Basically what Chris is saying is at least you know where you stood at that point.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not saying it was great. I'm just saying it wasn't,
it wasn't hidden or covert.
Right now it's all fucking underground.
Yeah, because it was forced underground because you couldn't scream and yell at black kids going to white schools and you couldn't hang them off bridges.
Okay, but that makes it worse.
Now you got to resort to these chicken shit little dog whistling phrases like animals when everybody knows goddamn well what you mean.
I love it.
Doghouse, you going to be voting for Hillary Clinton?
No, I don't like her.
Hillary Clinton.
Hey, but if she's up against some moron like Ted Cruz, goddamn right I will.
Hillary Clinton or Jeb Bush?
Fuck, I'd stay home.
Apathetic.
I'd vote for a third party just to throw my vote away.
Nice.
Just remember, if voting was important, they wouldn't let you do it.
truth to
There's
that.
some truth to that. All right, Doghouse, there is more to the story.
But I will. One last comment about the guy's office, this
Okay.
Aaron Schrock's office.
Okay.
The original article that touched off this whole deal was about the guy who's. I think he must be like a junior senator or something because he only just decorated his office. And it's kind of in the theme of this stupid-ass show on PBS. I know, of course, you don't watch PBS because it's all that liberal stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway, he's decorated his office all fancy and shit, and the reporter was there to do a story about him. And yes, he was a female, of course. And she noticed his office was... actually, the designer of the office was bragging about how she made it all... She was inspired by Downton Abbey. So the writer was like, oh, really cool, and she wanted to talk to the representative about it. And the communications director was having to basically play referee to the whole thing, because this Aaron Schrock didn't really want to talk about it at all. And the whole article turned into this deal about how he didn't want to talk about his Downton Abbey-inspired office.
Okay. I had to look it up because I didn't realize that was a TV show and it was based in the early 1900s, and it was kind of like a English, Edwardian office.
It's like an English version of The Help.
Right. So I had
now that Desperate Housewives is off the air, the chick's got to watch something after football on Sunday.
So I had to look it up and see what that was all about.
You'd never heard of that before?
No, never heard of it.
Oh, everybody's talking about it. Shut up, Miranda.
Sorry.
All right, that's all.
All right, hail and kill.
Fuck you, pal.
All right.
Don't start reading. I want to backtrack a little bit here on the chat room.
Okay.
Doghouse isn't comfortable in his white skin. How many whites riot in... Oh, damn, this fucking chat room. There's like a bunch of them slamming Doghouse. But I can't stop posting in the chat room. God damn it.
It keeps rolling on you.
Yeah, it keeps rolling back. Let me try this. Where did it go? Where? Shit. Now we got all these racist posts. Where's Doghouse posts? Shit. As soon as the nigger pics start being posted, Doghouse calls. Doghouse is a wigga gnome sane. Gnome sane.
Know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying?
Hey, Doghouse, the real Jeff Tate is black. You aren't? I think Doghouse is taking his black Jeff Tate persona a little too seriously now.
Wow.
It's all right to be white, Doghouse. You're a honky.
Jeez.
All right, that's good.
Yeah.
All right, so what else?
All right. I mentioned the fact that he, compared the quote unquote African Americans in his alley as animals from the National Zoo.
Racist.
Yeah. 2 months later, he described witnessing the shooting of one of the hood rats on my street by another hood rat.
Okay.
According to the liberal news site.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess hood rat is racist.
I guess so.
Even though I've seen interviews with young African Americans who said that they want to be hood rats.
Oh, please, Neely. You know what he meant.
Okay. Hail and kill caller, you're on the air.
I don't give a fuck. All you chat room booger eaters.
Can't believe they're even able to type with the boogers and the snot on their hands.
That must be why the spelling is so bad.
That's probably right.
So yeah, all you cats can read a book not written by a talk show host. Educate yourself.
Yeah. Don't be reading Little Victories.
Yeah, really.
Well, that's about his own personal problems, so, to each his own. Read Chris's Dirty Laundry.
There it is. Hey, I don't
But
care
as
if
far
they're
as
nuts,
the
buy it.
real Jeff Tate, as far as the real Jeff Tate being black, let me explain a little something about humor. You know why that bit is funny? Remember the original Jeff Tate is black bit? You know why it's funny? It's because, you know, the other Tate, the imposter, went on there saying something about his dick being black. Him being a black man below the waist, because, you know, the stereotype of black men having huge dicks.
What?
So because he
Racist.
because he
There are
he
white
told-
guys with large dicks, Doghouse. Jesus, racist.
That's what I said, a stereotype. So because other Jeff Tate resorts to a cliche, a trope, if you will, I thought it would be funny if the real Jeff Tate would also engage in some tropes and stereotypes.
Sure.
So he trotted out all the other low-hanging fruit.
I find this to be very offensive. All men of all races have large cocks.
Even the Asians.
I'm sure you could find an Asian with a 14-inch dick.
I would put in a note for 1/2 Scotch, Irish, 1/4 Dutch, and 1/4 Polish. We got the best of all worlds. But no, the reason why that bit is funny also is because I don't mean it. Because I'm just fucking around playing with stereotypes.
Of course. It's satire.
If I was sitting there meaning it and it came through in the bit, it wouldn't be funny. It would be just ignorant and stupid.
Right.
I gotta say, though, explaining humor is definitely interesting.
Stick your fingers back in your nose, chat room folks.
Yeah. You
Of no denomination or race.
right.
Fuck you, pals.
I love that.
Look at this shit. Once you go black, you're a single mom.
Right. Jeez.
Good Lord. That's not even funny.
Oh, jeez.
As we laugh our asses off.
Right. Yeah, it's a stereotype. He doesn't really mean it though.
I'm quite sure there's some white guys that have knocked up chicks and not fathered them.
Right.
Not fathered those kids.
Sure. All right. Another one. These racially charged posts were not confined to 2013.
Okay.
Just last month, he reportedly described a confrontation between an African-American police officer and himself after an African-American woman allegedly assaulted him and said, "You white people need to learn."
Okay.
I didn't
He
know.
said that?
She said that to him.
Okay.
I thought Anthony was doing okay on his own.
I thought so too.
I didn't know he had to go work for a Republican representative.
Yeah, no kidding.
Back in 2010,
Mm-hmm.
they're digging back 5 years now.
All right.
Cole wrote that a message Cole wrote that a mosque should be built on the White House grounds so that President Obama, who identifies as a Christian, would have a place to worship.
I agree with that statement.
According to the online news site, he also wrote,
Mm-hmm.
"The fact remains that white people who live in my building are routinely harassed by black miscreants
Okay.
who blockade the sidewalk and entryways in front of and behind the building."
Okay, well, if that's a true statement, what's wrong with it?
Well, because he identified them as being black. He specifically called out their color.
So that's wrong.
Supposedly, I guess.
If it's nothing but black guys blocking his goddamn sidewalk or whatever.
Yeah, but instead of just say youths or just guys or
Not youths or guys, it's black dudes. That's who it is.
maybe it was the use of the word miscreant behaves badly or in a way that breaks the law.
Yeah, so what?
Maybe that was the problem.
Okay, if it's a bunch of black dudes on his stoop selling drugs or whatever, what's the problem?
I don't know.
He called him out, so what?
So Schock, the representative, sent a statement to the Journal-Star in Peoria, Illinois,
Okay.
distancing himself from Cole's reported comments. I'm extremely disappointed by the inexcusable and offensive online comments made by a member of my staff.
Okay.
I would expect better from any member of my team. Upon learning about them, I met with Mr. Cole, and he offered his resignation, which I have accepted.
Pussy!
So you're gone, pal.
He said, resign or I'm firing you.
Yeah, you're out of here.
So he resigned.
He did.
What a fucking faggot.
Yep. So there you go. So
not supposed to say faggot either.
yeah. Well, anyway, I aside from as Doghouse so eloquently pointed out that there was dog whistling with the mention of acting like animals,
Right.
and referring to hood rats shooting each other,
Right.
and black guys blocking their entryways in and out of the building.
Miscreants.
Miscreants.
Right.
Yeah. So
Phil Anselmo, once you go black, you start looting and burning businesses down. No, that's just not true. That's not always true, Phil. I just need to point that out. That's not a true statement.
I think I need to distance myself from Phil Anselmo.
Phil Anselmo's got some racist tendencies here.
I need to distance myself from the chat room.
Yeah, look at Phil Ooze now. I'm so black I shit search warrants. Now that's very racist, Phil.
I think I'm going to have to distance myself from Phil now.
Yeah. I think we might have to open a chat room for just you and I, Mealy. Look at that picture for Obamacare.
I saw that.
Oh, my God. Yum, yum, eat 'em up.
I saw it.
Holy shit.
You're just encouraging that behavior through your laughter, Mr. Aiken.
I guess.
You're encouraging that behavior.
Really not. I'm laughing. It's a tragic laughter.
I'm not laughing about it. I'm laughing at the tragedy of the situation.
It's a tragic laughter.
Yeah, sure it is.
I'm laughing at the absurdity of it.
All right. Well, since we're in that whole mode,
Does he have a bone through his dick? I mean, if he's going to fuck the population, better go all the way.
wow.
Jesus. Uncontrolled noise checking in with some racism. Holy smokes.
I think I'm just going to have to distance myself from chatandkill.com. I can't
Yes.
have any part of this.
That's a little bit of too racist of a place for me. Jesus.
I'm sorry. All of you in the chat room, you're off my staff.
That's right.
You're not, get off my staff.
That's right. Get off my staff. I don't want your Obama bucks. No. No Kool-Aid, no watermelon, no ribs, no chicken.
Right.
I'm not finding that funny.
Right.
Not at all.
Find that reprehensible and repulsive.
Right. Phil Anselmo, come on. I think Doghouse is brainwashing the hosts now. Holy shit.
Now we know who our audience really is.
That's right. The Klan. I wonder, do you think we have any actual true Klan members that are listeners to this show?
It's hard to tell.
There's got to be, don't you think?
Yeah, I would, I just sit there envisioning this guy wearing like a Klan outfit,
Right.
with the pointy hat with the eye holes cut out, sitting at his computer, watching the screen on the chat room and listening to us, our voices coming over the speakers.
Right. Remember in American History X when they all got together for that concert?
Yeah.
Well, maybe it's not a concert anymore. Maybe it's our broadcast.
Yeah, that's just a bunch of people gathering for the CMS.
Sitting around the barn listening to us. They took the sitting around the barn from Motorhome and Tom the Scott and
Sure.
transformed.
It's like the clan gathering to hear those sacred words of the Grand Wizard. The Grand Wizards.
Grand Wizards, you and I.
Right.
Jesus. Oh, and Doghouse chiming in just to be the other side.
Sure.
He's like Combs on Hannity and Combs.
Exactly.
You know, the buffoon lib that fucking comes in and gets mowed over.